Round the world.
All right, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome to the Rouser World Caricature Art Drawing Stream. So thank you guys so much for coming out today. Awesome for you to choose to spend a little of your day with me. Again, for that, I am very grateful. So without any further ado, let me go ahead. I'm going to jump right in with it for you guys today. If this is your first time at the stream, my name is Harry. It is a pleasure to meet you. And what I am a professional caricature artist, meaning that I do it for a profession. Am I the best caricature artist out there? Well, that's up for debate. No, I'm messing with you. But no, certainly not, and nor do I profess to be. But by using the word professional, obviously, once again, I do this on a daily basis to earn a living for my family. And so that's what I mean by professional. I got started in this about maybe 15 years ago, maybe a little longer than 15 years ago, in San Antonio, Texas. That's how long I've been doing caricatures, but I've been drawing all my life. It's just that this is the particular way that I decided to point my artistic vision. Other than that, let me see. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what my caricature process is, okay? So I'm going to pick some faces out. I'm going to draw them for you. I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing while I'm going through the process. And if you feel like from the stream that you'd like to learn more about caricature, you want a more personalized experience, you can also take a class with me online at rouserworld.com/classes. I'll take care of you, okay? And I put that information up here for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump in. Let's see who we're going to, draw first here. Let me see. I have some pictures here. Maybe I'll work from these pictures. I've drawn all these people so many times because I use this a lot for my class, actually. But let me see. I'm going to start with this guy right here. All right. So go ahead and get kicked off here. Alright, so get my Crayolas out here. And my little gray marker. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and take off, guys. I'm going to start with this particular model here. Obviously, drawing from a picture is going to be different than drawing in real life, but not really that much different. It's all the same, right? To me, it's about breaking the face down into little shapes that you can digest easier. So sometimes I'll start with a little line like this in the middle of the paper. And this line is just to give me a center point for my face, also somewhere to work my eyes from. I use this line very heavily right here to do my eye work at. So you'll see me refer back to that line quite a bit. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to start here with, I guess I'll start with my brow shape here. I see a shape kind of like this here, so I'm going to do something. Okay. Again, I'm working from that center line here. Okay. All right. Right on, Bernie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming out today. All right. Now I'm going to go to my eye shapes here. And what I'm seeing here for myself, I think I'm going to use some triangle type shapes here. That's what this just kind of strikes me as. So I'm going to use some very small triangle shapes here. Okay. Once I have that shape in, I'll go ahead and start putting my nose shape here. Okay. And then I'm gonna do this shape here. Okay. All right, now from here, I'm gonna do a mouth shape here. So let me see what I'll do here. You know what? Something I just realized today. I think I might be able to, if I go parallel to, give a nice little simple shape there. Okay. And then let me see here. I'll do some teeth shapes down here. My particular method is to use open shapes as much as possible. This will keep me from drawing a portrait. One of the most common questions I get asked in my caricature classes is, well, how do I keep my picture from looking like a portrait? Well, it's because you don't keep your shapes simple. You try to sketch shapes in as you would in a portrait, and it makes your shapes look overworked. So refrain from that at all costs. I would once again advise that you use nice open shapes and basic shapes that you can readily identify. You know what I mean? And maybe as a close runner-up, I don't advise you try to copy another artist or compare your work to another artist. In other words, it's nothing wrong with copying them, but then when you feel that you're not doing it like another artist would, then sometimes that can kind of throw you off too. Yeah, I just go with it. I don't know whether I'm gonna get each picture right. I feel like I could have brought those eyebrows a little bit further down. I went up higher than I intended to, but that's okay. I feel like I still can do something with this. Small ear shapes. Okay. And then we'll just do our hair shape here. So I want to do something like about right. You know what was crazy? I can look at it like a like this. You know, as I've been drawing more, I've been seeing the power of triangles. I'm always looking for triangles in my picture, and I'm telling you, I never realized how prevalent in just nature that the triangle occurs. Like, for instance, when I'm doing this shape of the hair, you can look here and you can see that if I just took two pens, if I took my two markers here, I formed a triangle here to here, right? To tell me where these points were in the head, in relation to the face. You know what I mean? And then I was able to do a pretty good little cartoon right there. Hey, thank you so much, Karen. I can't believe that. Wow. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karen. I don't know what to say, but thank you so much for blessing me. We'll make sure that little Evan knows that his Tia, or we call it Tia in Spanish, Tia Karen, gave him $50. So I'll be taking some pictures and everything for you guys with my new son when he gets here on the 9th. So you guys keep us in prayer, as we going through it. I admit I'm getting nervous as the day goes forward. And it's funny because I've been through this before, but why? Maybe because I'm going to meet somebody new and I'm afraid how Evan's going to judge me. So so hopefully I'm able to do a good dad job with him, But again, Karen, thank you so much and God bless you. Thank you. All right, let me see here. Other than that, I'll just go ahead and do this. Now, I saw a question here by TJ. TJ says, do I have more full body videos? In fact, I am working on some full body videos now. I've been getting that request actually a lot lately. So I'll be putting some of those up. I might even go over a couple of bodies with you today since that's a question that you asked. I'll put that on my to-do list for this particular video here, or this particular segment. Okay, so we'll do bodies. All right. Hey, Cherish, how are you? Cherish is in the house. Cherish is in the house. My top tier Patreon, my standalone top tier Patreon Cherish is in the house, and I really appreciate you, Cherish, for supporting us in the way that you have. I really kind of am speechless. I can't. It's nothing bad I could say. Everything is good, with Cherish. She's been riding with me for a while, guys. So everybody say hello to Cherish. Say hi, Cherish. Everybody say hi. Do it now. All right. So anyway, again, Cherish, thank you so much for that support, and we certainly appreciate you. Let me see. So let me see here. I'm just about done with this one. Oh, TJ, he said your wife's birthday is on that day. Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be awesome. All right. So this is my first drawing. And I the other day, I'm going to tell you what I kind of discovered about it's a few things that I discovered. Number one is about these lines here. Like everything seems to work in threes. Like, remember I tell you about the triangle? So if you have a triangle, right, you have 3 points. You have 3 options pretty much for each shape that you draw within the face. Even the face shape or head shape itself is 3 options. So the more that I draw caricature, the simpler it becomes to me, because it's like I look back on the days when I had first began in this and I was like trying to do too much, trying to compete with other or classify myself with another artist or whatever. And so once I learned that there were very limited options and the creativity was only how I interpreted one of those, whether I chose one of those 3 ideas and then how big or small or whatever I made that particular shape, then caricature became more formula. So, at now it's got it's got my time down to where I can draw, probably about 25 to 30, maybe 35 caricatures an hour, just, with the amount of speed that happens when things become clear in your mind. So, yeah. Let me see. Oh, okay. Cherish is on the way home. Yeah. And thank you again, Karen. I thank you. I'm going to make sure I'm telling you that he said it. I'm telling you, I'm saying, look, Evan, he got to come on here and say hello. I wonder what he's going to look like. I wonder if he's going to look like me, or is he going to look like his mom and me, or just like his mom, or like neither one of us. I've had some of my relatives have babies and the baby don't look anything like either one of them, so I don't know. We'll see when he gets there. Anyway, let's go ahead and erase these guidelines here. And then, let me see here. Why isn't my music? Oh. Hold on a sec. Oh. repeat. Oh, I forgot to turn my repeat on. Okay, there we go. All right, so once I'm done with that, all right, I could add some shadows or whatever. I'll use my gray or I can use a color. It's all up to you how you want to do it. I don't normally do color on my live streams just because it allows me to do more faces, but it's all the same. Dun-dun-dun. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our next picture. Okay, that we're gonna practice. That's our warm-up drawing right here. Okay. I'm gonna put this over here to the side. All right, so let's go to, I guess we can do, I guess we can try this guy right here. Okay, so again, what I'll do, let's go through the process. X marks the spot. Grab your marker here, and then we're going to go ahead and we can start anywhere we want to. I'm looking at the center line here. Maybe I can start with my nose shape on this one. Let me see. So this is my nose shape. Okay, and then this might be my my bridge, and then here right are my eyebrows. So once I set that up, I use my little line here, and for this eye shape I'm going to use something I'm going to use a maybe like a half of a hexagon shape. So that looks something like this right here. So this is the shape I'm going to use here, right? I don't read too much into this, you know. Like I said, let me actually blow him up just a little bit more for you. Where is he? Okay, here he is. Blow him up. So this shape right here, sometimes you read into that eye shape a little bit too much. Let me try to get that glare out of there for you. Okay, and then we'll do like this. Watch, we'll just soften it up, make it the right size. So you see how I translated that shape into this shape, all right? And then all we have to do here. Now this is another line that another way that I use triangles. So if you see this line is like right here, right? When I get to this part of the face, right, where I'm drawing the smile lines, well, I'm looking for that angle here, right? So this tells me which way I need to draw my line at, right? You know what I'm saying? So when I draw my face, when I draw the line doing it that way, right, watch what happens, right? So we go like this. See the angle being formed in relationship to this line, of course. And then once I have it right, I'll go like this. See? Okay. And then I just come over here. Right? And if I need to curve it around, now I can curve from that area. And then I'll go into my chin shape here, which is very open shape, very rounded, right? Something like that, right? Okay, then we'll come over here. Okay, then we'll go over to the ear shape here. And then we'll go here in relation again to the center line, from the center line here, right? How much space is that? So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, yeah, it's definitely not from the center. So I definitely don't want to go this big here. I want to go smaller than that. So I want to be about right here somewhere. As long as I can eyeball this and just do like this. That's about right. And I just come out here. I want to maintain that square look. Again, keeping my shape nice and open and plain. Okay. How Bob Ross does it is, that's Bob Ross's way. I do a different way. You got to be okay with that. Okay, we'll come over here and we'll just, it's like a little fade right here. There we go. A little light line right there. We'll come over here and we'll draw another little shape here. Right? Put another shape right here. So you see how easy all those shapes flow, and everything looks real simple. So you can't make it can't look like a portrait. It has to look like a cartoon because you simplified the shape. Right? Okay? So simplification is the key. All right, so this is a very simple, drawing. From here, we can do whatever other little lines we want. This is when you start doing all this stuff like that. This is where but if you start your drawing off with these lines like this, it takes too much energy away, and you'll get frustrated because you're trying to see the likeness before you put all the shapes down, and you're trying to capture it in one portion of the picture, which you can't do that because your likeness comes from a working together, if you will, of all the shapes put together, right? Okay, hey, Jermaine, how are you today? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome, and we're just breaking it down again today. You know what I do, Jermaine? Every time I come to the stream, I aim to show you what I know, right? Okay. All right. So from there, you can add your shadows or whatever. But once again, very simple caricature. If you place everything correctly. Now you're going to notice that this eye shape right here is very powerful. I'm going to show you something because watch this. I'm going to take this eye shape, which we'll go into that real quick for you. Okay. So let's look at, let's term this section eyes, right? Let's put this over here. All right. And let's look at some other eyes, right? So remember, this is the shape we're looking at. Okay. Shape here. So watch this. All right. See this shape? See her eyes? You'd be like, that's not that shape. It's the same shape, right? Watch this. I'm just going to draw her eye shape. Watch. The lashes might change the way the shape appears to be. All right. See? Now, watch this. That's number one. So these people don't have nothing to do with each other. Let's just move right next door. What about this guy? Think we can do that with this guy? You think you see a different shape, don't you? No. Watch. Watch this. Same shape. Let's go to the person next door. Think you see a different shape? No, you don't. Same thing. Because it's not about the shape per se. This is a powerful shape. You can cheat and I could draw anybody on this page with the same shape. Even this guy right here, all I'm doing is I can use this shape or I can convert. I have like 4 different shapes I rely on. So one of them is this shape, then one of them is this shape, and then one of them is this shape, which is really the same as that shape, but it's just rounded off. And then what's the other one I got? I think this one, that one, this one. And then I had one other one. Oh yeah. Triangle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So check it out. Armed with those shapes right there, I can draw anybody from any angle. Doesn't matter. Okay. So imagine the power that gives you when you know, like Steph Curry, I'm going to make the shot. And then you just throw the ball up in the air and you turn around and go to the other side of the court before you see it go in. That's what these shapes is going to do for you in caricature, right? Yes. Okay. So let's go down here. Let's look at this one. All right. You can just choose which shape you want. Now, generally, what I'll do is I'll go for a feel that I want. So I won't use a feel like this here unless I want something kind of whimsical. I want a whimsical cartoon. I want them to look round. But if they have an intensity, if they have if they have this for their eye, let me show you what I'm talking about. If they have, let me see who has it in this picture. Okay. You see how this person has a lot of eye out here? Like you look at that space right there over the eye. See how there's a lot of bigness right around there? Let me give it another. Let me see if I can find somebody else that might have it on here. Like this guy. Okay, see how he has that bigness out here? Kind of like a heaviness on this side of the eye. Then if I see that, generally I'm going to lean toward this shape here, right? Or I can do this shape right here and just kind of condense the shape. So those are 2 options I have. So let me demonstrate. So one way I could do it is this. This is his eyebrow, right? 1, 2. Now we go with this shape, right? We can condense the shape down. Okay. Okay, let me just thicken these up here so you can see it, okay? You see what I'm saying? So we can go with that shape, and it still looks like him, right? And then I'll draw a little line like this over the top. Or, right, I can come over here. Okay, and I can take this first shape and I can say like this, and what it does, I can make one bigger than the other to get that little squint that he has, and then I can add my shape in here. But when I draw the line here, it'll be more like this. giving the illusion of the bigness of the eye. So this is another powerful eye shape that you can use too. Okay. So which one looks like him? Both of them do. I just think that this one would be more convincing given the bigness around the eye. You know what I mean? Okay. So again, any one of these, we can go to any one of them. We can skip down here to this guy right here. Now we're looking at this shape. Well, what kind of shape does he have? Generally, when people are, like I said, I'll save this for maybe like a baby or something like that. Generally, I won't use these on an adult unless they just have a very baby looking face. You know what I mean? So this one right here can be. Oh man, that's a. Let me show you what we can do with that. Now we can do this a number of ways here. So let's go over here. We're still on eyes again. Okay. All right, and we're doing something like this. So let's go 1, watch, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we can use our shape here again, and we can squeeze it because we're looking for a feel for the eye. And this happens when you smile a lot. So you see how I use the same shape again, but I just kind of squeeze the bottom of it in to create that shape, right? See? That's one way. Now another way we could do it, we can come back over here, right? And we can say, maybe we want to use a triangle. So let's do that. Okay. You see? Both shapes led to his eye shape. What's the other one I got? Now I can't use this one because he don't have the. I can't use this because he doesn't have that bigness, and I can't use this one because I don't like that one for his eye shape. Even though it may work. I mean, if it looks. Let me see. We can go with a. Let's say if we went with a half moon, as long as we make it the size right, we can do like this. All right. So that's another way we can do it. Okay. But this one, out of all of them, these two feel the most like it. These two here, right, feel the most like the eye shape to me. You know what I mean? Okay. So, again, what I'm trying to reiterate with you is that it's really not about these exact shapes that you try to draw when you draw a portrait. It's about taking a shape that feels like, or making a shape feel like what's going on in the face, if that makes sense, right? And there are not that many options. So when you sit down and draw an eye from now on, don't be searching all over America. If you want to do an exaggeration, look. You want to exaggerate? No problem. Let's go over here. Let's go to eyes again, right? You're still on eyes. You want to exaggerate? Let's say we want to exaggerate somebody with, let's look at her eyes, right? Look at that. Okay? So let's say I want to do an exaggeration, all right, of her eye. All right? I can do something like this. It doesn't matter. Now watch this. I can take that shape. Now with hers, her eyes look a bit, they look a bit soft, right? So this is what I'm gonna do here. I ain't gonna even play like that. I'm gonna do like this here. All right. This is another shape that I like as well. I think I'm gonna put one more shape in there. I forgot to add this one. Okay. Even though I can get away with using an abundance of shapes, this is the one I would start with. So I would do something like this. And I want to do an exaggeration. I can make one big, one small. Okay. See how I gave her a little attitude? But I'm still just toying with a basic shape. This one here. Now, what else could I have done with that eye? I could have I could have went with one of my staple shapes. I won't miss if I use this one. It doesn't matter. Watch this. I can still go. Watch this. Okay, so either one of these shapes could have worked if you wanted to use either one. It's just better, once again, what kind of look you want for the eyes. This is a little bit more startled here. Okay, and yeah, I like that one. Okay, so we got our exaggeration. And remember, we did the angle here. Remember, we had the angle. Then we set up. Right, so we got our angle right. Once we have that angle right, we can come in, give us a nice smile, right? You see, got a nice looking caricature of our person. Okay, so that's about it on eyes for today. I'm not gonna kick that around too much with you. Hopefully that helps you out with your eye shapes, right? If you feel like you're learning today from the Rouser, hey man, tips are appreciated. You know, we got Junior coming in 8 days. So, you know, all tips today will be appreciated very much. Again, thank you in advance. Let me see. Let me go with my next. Okay, so I did tell somebody I was going to do body. So TJ, I believe that was TJ that asked me about bodies. Okay, so the best way to, we're just going to discard that. The best way to go about the body is we can go over here. And let's go to, what's this? I think, wait. Let's go with, I think I have my, let me see. All right. Let me look up, no, that's not what I'm looking for. No. Okay. All right, let's go to, actually I can look up, I can do it over here because it might make more sense for you, but all right, let me see here. Okay, so I got my cartoon bodies here. Okay, so this right here kind of talks about bodies when you're doing cartoon bodies. Here I like this because it shows you kind of all about construction of the body, and it's really the same thing that I'm showing you when it regards to the face. You have the same ideas when it comes to the body shape. So to keep it simple, what I do with bodies is I make everything look like triangle. I like to use, so let's say this is the head, right, that I'm drawing for my person. Ask me, and then I want to draw, let's say I draw my body here. I make everything kind of triangle-y. So if you look here, you'll see a lot of triangles. That's just my particular technique, right? And here I might draw another triangle because it's giving me an idea of which way things need to go, right? All of my shapes in the body all transform into, I had a circle right here, and then I transform them into triangle shapes. You see how everything here, you might have your shoulders. Everything from here is going to kind of transform into triangles, and this gives me, again, a way to be able to, you know, create different characters based off of the drawings here. I guess you want me to show you this with a marker. So let me see if I can pick a body out here. Let's just draw a couple of bodies together. I think that's the best way to do it. These are some good cartoon bodies here. Wow, this here is a very different style. But I look at everything as an overall shape. So let's do it like this. Okay, this might be. He said, "I want this. What kind of theme do I want here?" I don't like those bodies. Let's go with something simple. I guess I could use these. These are simple. This is a cool body right here. So I can. Right. Okay, and then I look at everything like shapes. See how the body just how it kind of tapers down into a waistline, right? And it tapers down here into this. So I try to keep my shapes as big as possible, right? And you can see here the shapes that the body forms, right? This is a guy with some huge guns here. I'm gonna change mine up. Right. So I'm seeing those arrow shapes as I go down. All right, here again, deliberate arrow shapes. Basically telling me where I want things to go to. You can even use a stick man, like an arrow stick man, and then the energy here would be going out the front of his foot like that, right? So I might do something like this here. Once I get down, I'll come around the back of the leg here. Front of the leg gets kind of flat at this angle right here, so I'll do it like this, and then you can't really see the other side of the arrow there. And then here we'll just have our foot come out and back up. So this might be something like like a loose interpretation, keeping your center line like that right there. Actually, that's a little bit off right there, but that's okay. I mess up all the time in my caricatures when I'm drawing live. Just got to get used to it. It's part of the nature of the beast, man. Okay, so that might be one body. Let me see. What other kind of body we got here? Let me look at her, but that's a pretty cool one right there. Let me see if I can do that one. I'm pretty sure I can. All right, so once again, this is my shape I see. This is my shape. And we got triangles here. Triangle here, triangle here. I might want to put my triangle here for my hand, then another triangle here for my other hand, and I got my thing here. And let me see how I think about the face at this point. You can see it as like a shield, maybe with a little ball behind it, whatever makes you the most comfortable. Excuse me. Hey, what's going on, Prison Boots? How are you? Or we just keep it simple. We'll just do like this here. Do that. Right. And then just and then if you look at the arms here, you can see this comes off of here. And again, now we got all our triangles here, but they're very skinny and very slender. You see how that goes right there? Very skinny, very slender. So it gives it that, And a little trick that I learned, I was watching this drawing video the other day, how you can make cylinders kind of around your shapes. to make them look more 3D. So, you know, you can do something like this right here. And you see how it forces you to think about it as a round, like a round shape almost. I know you can't really see this that well. Oh, football practice. Wow. Yeah. So here I'll just do my overall shape. When somebody asks me for a theme when I'm live, usually I can just look up a theme and kind of make something that looks like it. Because you got to remember, when you're drawing live, people are paying for your initial interpretation. So they're not expecting you to draw this, you know, this perfect picture. You know, they're not going to be able to tell where you messed up at. So don't get all like, don't be extra, right? So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. Right? Just got to practice your bodies, you know what I mean? And you'll come up with a look that you want. Maybe what I can do this time, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a picture and then we'll combine it with a body. So I'll tell you what. Let me erase this right here. And let's find a face up here. So let's go with Okay. So we're going to take her face. And let's say somebody said, I want her to be... let's say they say I want her to be an anime character. Something like this. They say I like that. I want you to draw that right there, okay? So let me see what I can do here. Okay, first, let's draw her face. Just a real quick face. Okay. So what I would start with here is I would create whatever like limbs first. Right? This is just how I roll with it. Okay? I'll come over here and I can see my arrow shape kind of pointing out here to this right here. So now I know where I can do this. All right. And I'm not tripping over like all this exactness. I'm just trying to make something that looks like the theme that they want. Right? I don't know what that is right there. Let's just make something that looks like it. Oh, that's like a little pocketbook or something. Right? And then I can see my knees are actually little triangles as well, so that helped me out. And then we can see the inside is kind of like a half a triangle. So we'll go here, then we'll go out here, and we can see this is inside knee. I'm kind of going a little bit further down here, but right. Oh, looks like she got like a shoulder right here. I need to give her some more shoulder here. So I'll just do like this. All right, looks like she got like a feather here or something. All right. Okay, and then we'll give her like a little scene. Once I have the body in there, real simple. All right. Whether I got each part exactly right and all that right there, remember, I'm doing this without erasing. So I gotta be good at like ad-libbing and making things fit with, and all that kind of stuff, right? So let me see, anything in here I kind of missed. I don't know if I need to add some more there. I like to use those shadows shapes a little bit, right? All right, so here, all right, little part right here. All right. Okay, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe we could give her some I don't you could, and that theme right there. Okay, let me see here. All right. Okay, then maybe right here we'll. This is one of my staple backgrounds. If I see something going on back there, I might have me a little some windows back there. That's like my little vanishing point back there. Some windows here. Big windows here. I needed to make these a little bit bigger here. All right. Something like that. This is okay. And let me see here. So pretty much, I'll just come back and I'm done here. So add some shadows to it. And like I said, as long as it looks something like the theme or whatever they're trying to do, it'll come out decent. All right. So there you go, right? All right. Let's see here. So what other bunch of bodies can let's do some more bodies here. These are cool too to practice like gestures, like these right here. I like that one right there. I like the way he did that. He liked drawing like this here. And that's another thing. I like the how you hold your pencil. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, it's a little bit bigger. And then bring the arm down here like this. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like going down like this, and then this is the energy of that line. So it's coming straight down here. It looks like he got some straight arms here. So it might not be exactly like his, but it's okay. I like the way he rounded that off and then did like this with it. Looks a little bit more fuller that way too. Okay, so now we can I like this gesture here too. The way the eyes are. If you can see here, it's kind of like this, and then you can see that bulbiness from here. I like to practice different, like especially Disney. They have some awesome. The animators are like crazy, so you can incorporate some of this stuff into your cartoons, man, and it'll make them. You know what I mean? So like here, you can see this is the line, and this is like the way the face is flowing right here. Mm-hmm. She has a kind of a coy look. And then here we can see. And I see the way he keeps everything he keeps this whole line on the other side of the center line, which I think that's a nice touch right there. Like when you draw the nose, if you just center line here, if you can keep it to this side of the line here, it flows a little bit better. And then, let me see here. Okay. Okay, and that was kind of cool. All right. So anyway, that was a little bit on some bodies. I did some bodies with you guys. It's just really I look up. I'll do some actual videos on those that I'll upload individually, and it's just different ones. You know, you learn different. You do one or two or learn three of them repetitively. You keep drawing those, and then you incorporate those in, and then different ones. You know you use them for different situations. So let me see here. We're going to go ahead and go back to faces. So I'm going to do about, let me see what time we got, 4:56. Okay, so I'm going to do about one or two more faces, guys. And then I'm not going to keep you guys long. I know that you guys got other stuff to do, right? So let's go ahead and find like another face to do. And then we'll do kick around a couple of ideas with that one. Oh, that's a good cartoon right here. Phil Silvers. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do this one here. I don't know where I'm gonna start with on this picture here. I don't know, something like that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, see how that went right there? Real simple, and then you can see again those eye shapes that I use. You probably remember noticing that I told you that there was a lot of space out here. And then you want to go into that shape like this. How you disguise the shape and all that doesn't mean you can disguise it and make it look cool with all kind of lines or whatever, but you still need to know what the shape is underneath it. All right, so I got one more drawing here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start getting ready for the word of the day. Let's see here. Let's see. I like this one. This one seems kind of cool. Okay, where am I gonna start with this one? I don't know. This is kind of big. Okay, so that's my last drawing of the day, guys. I told y'all I was gonna be out of here on time today. I know y'all ain't got. All right. So again, you can see what shape of eye I used there, right? What shape do you guys see I used right there? I went with, yes, you guessed it. I went with the triangle shape. This is all I did right here. And it makes a nice eye. And then I changed the contour of the eye. So let me give you a word of advice, and just as we finishing up here. What changes the way the eye looks most of the time is, especially with females, it's the makeup. The eye is not shaped like that naturally. They use the makeup to change the shape of the eye. So if you know what the underlying shape is, then you can just in the same way use makeup or eyelashes to change the way the eye appears to look. Right. So I could do it. We could do it that way. That's still like a really good look for her. But then I also like something maybe diamond, right? Maybe I can do something like this. Watch. So I could do something like this. Watch. So this is the top of it, right? It's still got to be here, right? But beneath the center line, right? We could bulb them out a little bit more. You see? So we'll leave a little bit more white space underneath the eye. And then that'll give her a little bit more of a, you know what I mean? Even though both of them still kind of look like her. Use this one too. See that? Something like that. And you see the shape of the lips? Same shape I use kind of when I do the eyes. I use them for the lips. Right? But I just soften them up. So I'm just constantly disguising really basic shapes and then turning them into things, and then that's what makes you have a successful caricature. Okay, guys. Well, I want to thank you for coming out and drawing with me today. That was super awesome of you. Then now we're going to proceed into our word of the day. That's where I share a word from the scripture with you, right? So that we can be encouraged when we leave this place, because we're all going through things. Things happen. Life happens to everybody. And when I decided, me and my wife decided to create Rouse the World, we didn't want to make it. We wanted to have a homely feel, just kind of like just a regular, I'm not super big, YouTube channel like that. I didn't want anything like that. But what we wanted was to be able to minister to people, to be able to encourage other, not just artists, but just anybody that's just interested in learning this particular art form, that we could also encourage them in the way that they are processing the world. There's so much for us to process right now with all different things going on, all these different ideas about everything. And a lot of times we can feel like we're behind on life, and we get frustrated because we're trying to keep up with somebody else. And so we wind up making kind of desperate decisions, and that those desperate decisions ultimately lead to consequences we didn't intend, right? So if you guys will give me a minute, I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff ready, and then we're going to go into our word of the day. Okay? So give me just a sec. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So, good evening. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our word of the day portion of our art stream. Again, if this is your first time here, I want to take time to welcome you to the Rouser World art stream, where we learn a little bit about art, but we learn more about developing ourselves inside, developing the mind, developing the heart, because these things ultimately will decide how far you go as an artist. We always say here that art is not just about what you can draw on the paper, but there's an art to everything. There's an art to relationship. There's an art to driving a car. There's an art to raising kids. There's an art to spending money. There's an art to earning money. There's an art to everything. And ultimately, there's a discipline behind art. I found as I go along as an artist, there's a discipline of knowing even when the facts in front of you may say contrary to what you know. It's called in scripture we call it walking in faith, but I guess a earthly term for it would also be faith. It's seeing something in front of you, and though you see that in front of you, you know that this is not the whole picture. And the reason that this appears to be this is because of maybe a past experience or something of that nature, but you know the final outcome is not what you're seeing in front of your face, so you act differently, or you act on the science behind the situation. Today in the stream, I showed you when I draw, for instance, eye shapes, I use pretty much 4 shapes. These 4 shapes encompass, excuse me, let me just turn off my Ring camera here. It keeps going off here. Let me turn that off here. Excuse me. Okay. But either way, these 4 shapes are the underlying, or the shapes underneath whatever makeup. So if someone's wearing a bunch of makeup or whatever, and you're being fooled because you want to draw, for instance, this person here has the makeup changing the eye shape, making it look like another shape than what it really is. But when in all actuality, the shape is simply one of these shapes here. And all you have to do is identify it without the makeup on it, and then you turn it into that shape. For instance, if we took this shape here, what did we say? We said we had a center line. We're going to take this triangle, and we're going to, no matter, I'm looking at the eye, forget about it. I see what the eye is doing. I know what it feels like. I know underneath everything, there's a triangle here, and then there's some eyelashes out here making everything look different. And underneath the eye might be a lot of eyes. So all of this is another triangle reversed from it, looking in that direction. If you're not aware of this, then when you start drawing something, you'll start trying to sketch the eye out like this. Because you don't know what you want to draw. You're searching for a shape. And while you may get close to it, it lacks any life. It looks like a portrait. It doesn't look like a cartoon. And this is where a lot of caricaturists get in trouble at, because they don't know this. Well, this is how we get in trouble in our life. We don't know that everything has a structure, no matter what it looks like. So we might be asking for something, but it's, how I say, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it, because we're asking for what it looks like up front, without knowing what the discipline behind that is. This is why the scripture tells us to stay away from certain things, because it is the structure underneath whatever it is you're trying to build on. It knows, the Spirit knows all things. It knows when you ask, I want to be rich, I want this, I want that. Real quick story. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a celebrity. I wanted to be a superstar. I wanted to be a singer, have my own singing group and all that kind of stuff. And that never happened for me. A lot of other things happened. I had to get a regular job and earn, be with regular people, make regular money and stuff. But as now I'm 50, and I get to see the backstory of some of my favorite artists that I wanted to be like as a kid. And at the time, I was asking to be just like them. Remember. But now I see their struggles with addictions. How they had the drinking and getting high and thoughts of suicide and wanting to end it all. Bad relationship after relationship. Being taken advantage of by the people that signed them to the record contracts or whatever. These people was trying to exploit them and take advantage of them, and they were just a commodity. So they were being used and abused, and it drove them. Nearly some of them were driven insane. The basketball players now, they got all the money, and these people that house the money, and we don't get to see underneath all of that. Who is this person when they not on stage? Who is Cardi B when she's not on stage? That's the only thing we see is her on YouTube. Her hair is perfect. Her nails are perfect. Everything's perfect. Her life is perfect. But who is she? And should this be somebody that we're following? Is this something that we should really desire, that we want? Is that life for you? Well, this is what we're going to talk about today in our stream. So what I want to do is I like to share from devotionals. I like to, when I study the Bible, I always I study because from the scripture with my devotional, because it gives me it's just my personal feel for studying. This is the way I like to be built, and maybe you might study a different way, and that's okay. Today I'm going to share this devotional with you, so we're going to kind of read it, and then we're going to talk about the scriptures behind it. So if you have your Bible handy, we'll go ahead and go to the book of Luke, and that's going to be Luke 12:22. So all you have to remember is Luke 1:2, right? And we're going to go ahead and read this, and then we'll talk about it. And this particular devotional, it moved me so much that I've been reading the same devotional, this one page for the last week. I've been studying this page and looking at it and studying it and keeping it on my mind every day. When I wake up in the morning and I read this and I think about it. And I want you to, I would urge you to do the same when you hear this. Cherish, this one is another one I got. This is I don't know where I got this. I was just in a bookstore and I saw it and I started reading it, and I was like, so let me see. This one's called Jesus is Calling. It is by Sarah Young. Jesus Calling by Sarah Young, and it's enjoying peace in his presence. I don't know if it has if it has here it is. Okay. Yeah, Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence by Sarah Young. And yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, so we're gonna go to this one. This is watch this here. So it says, demonstrate your trust in me, your trust in God, by sitting quietly in his presence. It says, put aside all that is waiting to be done and refuse to worry about anything. This sacred time together with God strengthens you, and prepares you to face whatever the day will bring. So often, and let's stop right there. Often, when I wake up in the morning, as a man, I wake up and got responsibilities, a family to take care of, and all this kind of stuff. Bills, we got all this kind of stuff. And when we wake up in the morning, sometimes we have a tendency to get up, and as soon as we open our eyes, our minds start racing to what? And this is whether you're a man or woman, but I'm just talking from my personal, maybe you can relate to this, but my mind starts racing about all the things that needs to get done today. As far as earning, as far as hustling and all that kind of stuff, right? What kind of jobs you got lined up, what kind of new clients you can get, potential clients you can get, whatever. Your mind starts to race and take off in the day, right? But when you take off in the day, a lot of times we don't know what that day entails. We don't know what the structure of that day is going to be, right? So we take off again in this same scenario that I showed you on the drawing board. We start searching, and we have a sketchy. We wind up with a sketchy day, a day that didn't really have purpose, a day where everything just went by us, and there was nothing specific about that day. It's just another day, and they all run into each other. But this time here it says, when you wake up, this is what I've been making a practice of doing. When I wake up, I'll come in this very office and this very chair. There's no light, just my little light from my book, my Bible, whatever, and I will spend time with God. And I will meditate on His Word. And I will meditate on who God is for me and what He has done for me and all these things. And I forget and I detach from everything. I refuse to let my mind worry about how many views I'm going to get on YouTube today. How much money am I going to make today? Who's going to talk to me today? Who's not going to talk to me? Who likes me? Who doesn't like me? None of that stuff matters in this time. It says here, this sacred time together strengthens me and prepares me to face whatever the day will bring to me. Because later on in the day, if you start your day like this, there's going to be things that are going to happen to you throughout your day where you're going to be able to refer all the way back to how you started that day. And you ain't going to get lost because you know the foundation is God. The foundation is you and God. The foundation is your purpose on this earth. The foundation is none of this stuff actually means anything. It doesn't mean what we think it means. We're here for a purpose. And then it allows you to take a breath in the middle of the madness of that situation that you're in. It says, by waiting with me before you begin the day's activities, you proclaim the reality of my living presence. So you are not only strengthening yourself to face whatever's going to come at you that day, you're also taking time to give God His place in His life, the reverence, because you can't receive from anything or anyone that you don't give reverence to. Let me say it again. You can't receive from something or someone that you don't give reverence to. Otherwise, it's just a game to you. This is why so many people can get on the stage and make fun of God, right? Or make fun of church, or make fun of these things. But these things, there's nothing to me. We would explain to my daughter this about the other. I don't joke about God. I don't make jokes about that. That's not funny to me. But in the world we live in now, all of this is having a spiritual life is funny to them. It's some type of joke. God is not put in the place where he's supposed to be, right? To give you an example, if you work for somebody, you have a boss. And a good boss will tell you, I'm not your friend, I'm your boss. This way, if you mess up and I got to fire you, there's no hard feelings because I told you who I am in the first place. And when you racing through traffic because you're about to be 3 minutes late, you know why you doing it? You doing it because you got reverence for the person that's holding your paycheck. So you put them in a place of honor to receive from them. Whatever that boss tell you to do, yes, sir, I'll do that. You need me to work some overtime? No problem, I'll do that, right? Because you know he got that paycheck. When somebody's holding something important for you, you listen to them. So that's how we must look at God. And this is what it's saying. By waiting with me before the day's activities, you proclaim the reality of my living presence. You're putting God where he is supposed to be in your life first. Before anything that you can do, you got to put God first. This says this act of faith, waiting before working. This act of faith, waiting before working, is noted in the spiritual world where you demonstrate, or where your demonstration of trust weakens principalities and powers of darkness. This takes the foothold from the devil. You won't do things out of anxiousness anymore because you feel afraid that you won't have enough. It takes away the power of the devil to act on you in life. It's when you get into a situation which maybe you and your wife are having a disagreement and you feel or think a certain thing that you want to do in your mind. But this right here, when you go back, you're going to say, you know what? You're going to learn to stop and wait on God first before every action and say, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. And do what's right. It says the most effective way to resist evil is to draw near to God. The most effective way to resist evil is to draw near to God. Give him his place where he's due. When you need to take action, God will guide you clearly through his spirit and his word. This is why it's important that we spend time with the word. Again, one of my favorite books in the Bible is Proverbs. This is my mother always encouraged me to read this book, and I see why, because there's a lot of the stuff that she told me throughout my life. And then it says all kinds of things in here. Like let me just pick anything. It says here, sensible people keep their eyes glued on wisdom, but a fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. That means that a person that's wise knows they stick to the structure. They sit in front of a person, right? And I'm just using this because we are talking about art. When they sit in front of a person, they already know, all I have to do is pick one of these and I can't miss. The person that's a fool tries to create something outside of the structure. I want to be different. I want to be unique in this way. I can come up with something that's never been done before. I can change the structure of the way things have been since the beginning of time. They never get enough. They always looking for something else to get into, is what it's saying here. I was once a foolish man because that's how I lived. I wanted to go from one, I wake up and I'm into this and I'm into this. And I felt like almost like how's the word I'm looking for? Like if I wasn't at a party all the time, I wasn't having fun. If I wasn't at Six Flags every day, I wasn't having fun. In other words, I only appreciated the high points of life, so therefore it kept my eyes wandering. That's what this means, to the ends of the earth. But again, this is what we're talking about here. I will guide you with my spirit and my word. When you read the word and you get into a situation, you see the structure and you know what happens, right? When you do a certain thing. The world is so complex and overstimulating that you can easily lose your sense of direction. Oh, it's saying here, back to what this is saying, the fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. Well, there's a lot of stuff to think about. There's a lot of stuff to believe. Right? And whatever you choose to believe, right? That's what you believe, and that's what your reality is. And I'm not talking. I'm not here to per se tell you how to live your life. I'm simply sharing with you what has prospered my life. You see, having a bunch of money and fame and all that doesn't prosper your life. That's nothing. That's your eyes wandering. Because money is an extension of things. That's why you want it so much. Because you feel like you can have the things you want, but you can't get those things unless you have some money. So therefore, money becomes a thing. And we were actually talking about that in church this weekend. So, but anyway, the world is complex and it is overstimulating. Every day you wake up, there's a new iPhone. There's a new Samsung phone. There's a new TV. There's a new car. There's a new this. And so the enemy wants to keep us distracted with things and forget about what's most important, which is our relationships with one another, and first and foremost, our relationship with God, because we cannot love unless we have God. We don't love, we just like people to help us love ourselves. We see them as an extension of us, so, but we don't truly love them. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about this unconditional love thing that you're supposed to have. For a lot of people get it twisted that you're supposed to have unconditional love for everybody. You can't do that. You're supposed to. Nobody has unconditional love other than Jesus Christ. But we're supposed to act in the best interest of those that are around us, that God places in our path. When we have a family, we're supposed to take care of them. We're supposed to love them. We're supposed to love them in action, not in word. You know. Doing countless unnecessary activities will dissipate your energy. So eventually, all these things that you're doing, you ever wondered after you did all this work all day and you still feel like you ain't did nothing? You feel like you took 3 steps forward, 2 steps back because you spent all your energy working on the wrong thing. When you work on the right thing, then you feel full. It's kind of like your body does when you eat. You can eat a bunch of sugar and donuts and all that, and right after you finish eating that, you're still hungry because your body hasn't gotten the nutrients that it needs. So it's still telling you, your brain's still saying, I'm hungry, and then you stuff more donuts down your face and you're still not full because you're not giving your body the nutrients it needs. Well, it's the same thing that it's talking about here. When you do too much, you're going to dissipate your energy and you're going to eventually wind up in this place where you don't really just have the will to get up out of bed and do anything anymore because nothing is going to satisfy you. When you spend time with God, He restores your sense of direction. It says, as you look to God for guidance, He will enable you to do less but accomplish more. Now, how does that relate to caricature? How does that relate to art? The last part that I said, listen to this. As you look to God for guidance, He will enable you to do more by doing less. Right? Why do you think I teach simple caricatures? When I go to my class, the first thing I do is I teach simple shapes. I teach them. They think they're going to come there and learn like all this fancy. I was like, no. we're going to go back to, can you draw a triangle? Can you draw a square? Can you draw a circle? Right? Can you draw a stick figure? Right? Because this is the basis of caricature. If you don't know this, right? So as I started going further down the road again in caricature, I started realizing that, wait a minute, we're all, first of all, that all human beings are the same. We all have the same anatomical features, right? We all have the same shapes in our faces, the same shapes that build our body. They're either bigger or smaller or longer, but they're all the same shape. So this is a triangle, this is a triangle, this is a triangle, this is a triangle, right? These shapes are being recycled over and over again in our face to make us appear to look like somebody else, right? That's all caricature is. When you figure that out, oh, it gets easy. It's like somebody sits in front of you and people ask me, well, how can you draw people without looking at them? You don't hardly even look at me, and all of a sudden you got my picture on the paper. I said, because I don't need to look at you that much. Everybody looks the same. Everybody looks the same. God showed me through the scripture how to apply it, and I applied it to my artwork, because it says if you dedicate what you do to God, he will make it successful. So you know what I'm saying? I took his word and I applied it to what I was doing, and it works. I do more drawings in less time by doing it God's way. In the end, let me share this scripture with you, and you can read on this. And just before you go out to work in the morning, or before you go to bed at night, or when you're worried about something, go to Luke 1:12-22. And it says, and then Jesus said to his disciples, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, or what you will wear. Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you than birds? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life? In Ephesians 6:12, it says, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. And finally, it says in Proverbs, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. Those are three very powerful scriptures, especially this one here with wrestling against principalities and powers and rulers. Because, again, by spending time with God and making it what you do the first thing of your day, you are giving God the authority where he belongs at in your life. And then once you give him that authority, when you get into a conflict situation, a hostile situation, now you're not going to question him when he tells you how to handle it. But if you don't believe everything that God say in his word, you're going to go off on your own little tangent based off of what you think, when God can see the whole picture and you can only see a part of it. And you're going to draw what's not there, and you're going to get a sketchy outcome. So that's our word of the day. Putting God first. Starting your day with God. And allowing him to help you to make the decisions that really count for your life. So, guys, I want to thank you again for coming out to the stream and spending some time with me. That was super awesome of you. I will be streaming again on, wait a minute. Oh, yes, I will be streaming this Saturday because I have an event Sunday. So Saturday I will be streaming. I will let you guys know. I'll keep everything posted on our Facebook and then our YouTube channel if you guys want to attend our Saturday stream. So again, also Karen, I just want to thank you again for you donating to us, the help. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate that. We got the little fella coming on the 8th. So like I said, I just want to thank you so much for helping us out with that. And if you guys also want to contribute to our ministry, you can do so. I already put the information up here. I think it's pinned to the top of your screen. So if you're interested and you want to help, thank you so much, guys. All right. So Father God, we just thank you for this time together. And thank you for your word. And my prayer is that everyone here received your word, and that those that watch this video after this will also hear your word and be moved by your word, implement your word into their life so that they may see your blessings in their life. In the name of Jesus I pray, amen. So I'm going to go ahead, guys, and get out of here. Again, thank you so much for coming out, and I will be seeing you guys on the Saturday morning art stream. Oh, and Cherish, I'll see you tomorrow. I know we got a class tomorrow, so I'll see you tomorrow. All right, you guys have a blessed evening, and I will see you next time.